In our next installment of the deep dive into Eugenia Cooney series that we have going on, we have a video on Eugenia's channel entitled Ask Eugenia, which features Eugenia doing a Q&A for her channel early on. Let's dive in and see what information this Q&A provided, if any.
Hey guys, so a couple of days ago I said I was going to make a Q&A video and I let you guys ask me questions on Twitter and Facebook, and now I'm going to answer them. I'm going to try to answer a lot of them. If I don't get to your question, I'm really sorry, but I am going to try to get to a lot of them, so yeah.
I can only imagine what she's going to be asked, though I have a funny feeling that she probably filtered a lot of them out back in the day. Nowadays, she pretty much lets anyone ask her anything on her streams, no matter what it is. But these were edited videos that she had full control of, so I'm sure it was a lot different back then. But let's see.
What's your favorite week and what do you do in that week? Well, I mean, I don't really have like one specific favorite week. I mean, if you mean like in the year or something, I guess it would kind of like depend in the year and what I'm doing or whatever, but I don't really have like one specific favorite week in mind.
See what I mean? It's a pointless question, not even worth the energy of asking. Who cares what someone's favorite week is? Do people even have favorite weeks? Maybe a favorite day of the week, but not a favorite week itself? The hell?
If you were to spend the day with Amanda Bynes or Lindsay Lohan, which would it be? I really liked your question. I think I would choose Lindsay Lohan at this point because I feel like even though, you know, they both had their crazy times, I feel like at this point Amanda's going even more crazy than Lindsay, at least at the moment. So I think right now I'm going to go with Lindsay.
Another stupid question that gives very little insight into Eugenia herself as a person. Also, you can tell this video is old because that's an extremely outdated question. Who's thinking of Lindsay Lohan and Amanda Bynes these days?
What is what you want to be best known for on you now, if people look back on you? I guess I would want to be best known for like making my fans happy, because of course that's important, and I guess for being nice to everyone on there, because there's seriously so many amazing nice people on that website.
That's a slightly better question, because it's actually insightful. Wonder how Eugenia went from wanting to be known for making people happy to making them all upset nowadays. She doesn't seem to post the same kind of goofy feel-good content that she used to back then either. So guess she dropped that goal. Small note here, but it's interesting how she keeps looking in the viewfinder toward her body, even though most of it can't be seen.
If you could meet anyone, dead or alive, who would it be? I'm going to say Jesus, which kind of applies to both, because, you know, Jesus died, but then he came back to life, so my answer kind of applies to both.
She was funny back in the day, and interesting to note that she was apparently also religious.
What makes you most excited about your fan site? Everything makes me like so excited about that. I never thought anyone would make one for me, so the fact that you're making that for me, Sarah, means so much to me. So just like everything about that, like I just think that's amazing.
A lot of looking again, but must be interesting to go from standing the Jonas Brothers and creating fan pages herself about people to having someone create a fan page for her. It's like full circle. The days before snark pages.
When are you and Victoria Justice going to do some raps? Well, I mean, I'm down to do it anytime, so I mean, you'd have to tweet her and ask her when, because, you know, I'm down to do it anytime.
She was so extroverted and willing to embarrass herself back in these days. It's such a stark contrast to how she is now.
Are you a Britney Spears fan? If so, fave song and album? I do like her music. I don't really have a favorite album. My favorite song by her is Every Time, because I think it's really like emotional for her, and I think it's a really good song.
It's also such a stark contrast to see how engaging and talkative she was back then. She would never say this much now. She even picks a favorite song based on Britney's emotions. That's pretty deep. Don't think she talks with that much depth nowadays.
Who are some actresses you look up to? Well, my favorite show is The Vampire Diaries, so I really like Nina Dobrev, and I think really the whole cast on that show was really good and like really talented.
Okay, so basically all of these questions are just PG-13 type of questions. The kind you'd see on a Bizoink survey. Nobody is really asking her anything real or deep.
Are you an Amanda Bynes fan? Did you have an obsession? If so, explain. I mean, I never really had like an obsession with her or anything. I was never really like a huge fan, but I thought her show was like funny sometimes. Like I thought the Judge Trudy thing was really funny. It was like Judge Judy, only Judge Trudy. So I thought that was funny. I thought she was really good at that.
All we're getting here is insight into the type of television Eugenia watched back in the day. If there were any serious questions asked, she's definitely not answering them. This is what I meant when I said she had full control to filter out questions she didn't want to answer or draw attention to.
Do you feel you could change the world of twerking as we know it? Absolutely. And if you want to know why, then just watch my How to Rapturely Twerk video. And that basically says it all. It will change your life.
You'd never see Eugenia joking around like this nowadays.
You now are in YouTuber you look up to. Well, that sounds like it should be someone who's like really like inspirational kinda. And I would say Damon Busy because I think he puts a really great message out there. And I think he's so kind to his viewers and his fans and everything, which I think is so wonderful. And I think he's like changed a lot of people's lives for the better, which I think is amazing. So I'm gonna say him.
It's interesting that she cared so much about making people feel good and changing their lives, and even was inspired by another influencer who did. Her goal seemed to have shifted at some point to something more self-centered and self-indulging.
Do you watch Sam Pepper? You should. I do watch some of his videos sometime, and he's really funny.
All I can think of when I hear that name is all the accusations against that person.
Girl, why are you going to Disneyland so much? That's an excellent question. I know I seem like I'm in Disney World. That's actually what I go to like all the time. And the reason why is because my brother is obsessed with Disney. So basically whenever my family goes on vacation, we get stuck going to Disney because he's obsessed with it. I'm not like some Disney fanatic freak or anything. Trust me, it's all my brother.
That seems to have greatly changed. She's always at Disney nowadays for herself, isn't she? She's literally always there. I don't think it's for her brother anymore. Or if it is, he sure does go a lot and has her tag along. I swear she lives there.
Is it okay if I end up tackling you in a hug at VidCon? Yeah, as long as you don't kill me. But yeah, I can't wait for VidCon. VidCon is going to be amazing.
I mean my thoughts exactly. I was just about to say a tackle would probably leave her incapacitated, especially nowadays. Don't think she's strong enough to handle one of those. Then or now.
When is Ariana Grande going to follow you? That is an excellent question. I wish I knew. You should tweet her and tell her to follow me on Twitter. That'd be amazing.
Considering what's going on with Ariana nowadays, in 2025, we wouldn't be surprised in the slightest to find out that Ariana is following her these days. If you know, you know.
Shane Gamboa asked me, do you love me? And this is such an obvious yes. Shane, of course I love you. I love you so much. Yes. That is like 100% yes. I love Shane Gamboa.
She really did have such a sweet personality back then, didn't she? Genuinely sweet. It seems more fake and put on nowadays. But back in these days, she seemed to have actual fond feelings toward her fans.
And then April actually asked me like a follow-up question for that, and she was like, how much do you love me more than Shane Gamboa, right? And that is a hard question because I love you both.
She was full of so much personality. It really is mind-blowing how different she is to how she is now. It's like night and day, from light to dark. Literally.
Are you going to the Digi Tour? Yes, I'm going to the Digi Tour. I can't wait. I'm so excited. So yeah, if you're there, I'm gonna be there.
Also seemed like she went out more to socialize with more than just her mother.
Who do you get compared? You look like a lot. A lot of people tell me I look like Taylor Momsen and Avril Lavigne. I take it as a compliment for both of them because I think they're both super pretty.
Okay, she looks like neither of them. But I guess if we're basing this off style, sure.
M3 asked me, aliens or predators? And M3, I wasn't exactly sure like what kind of predators you meant. I don't know if you meant like child something, and in that case I'd have to go with aliens because like I don't think people should children or like go like steal them or anything, but I don't know if that's what you meant. I don't know, but I'm gonna say aliens.
She would never say anything like this nowadays. Kind of a weird thing to veer off into, but it's interesting that she wasn't afraid to joke about literally anything and everything back in the day. And interesting she'll make a comment like that, but we've yet to hear any questions or comments about the obvious.
What advice do you have for someone who gets asked by a homeless person their number? Well, my advice is do not give them your number. I did that for a janitor, and I didn't mean to. It's kind of a long story, but I have it in one of my videos here if you want to watch it, but I kind of made it before I got a good camera, so it's not the best quality, but yeah, and basically let's just say, just don't give it out. That's my advice.
So, a few interesting things here. One is that video no longer exists on the channel, so we can't see what she's referring to. Two, it's interesting that she informs her audience to not give their numbers out, because number three is that Jacqueline Glenn said that Eugenia was the type to give random people her number because she was too afraid to say no, which shows how much more bold and confident and cautious Eugenia was back in the day to know to say no. Check out what Jacqueline had to say here.
But we sat down with her and realized that there was a man harassing her, being inappropriate towards her, a fan, who had asked for her phone number, and because she didn't want to be rude, she gave him her phone number. Again, not trying to defend or make an excuse for not taking action against these people, but I do think that understanding who she is as a person and her character might make you happy that you made her take care of it, but also understanding that that's just not something she's able to do very easily.
Again, she appeared to be more in the know about caution previously than she appears to be now, because the time that Jacqueline is referring to is not the time that Eugenia just referred to in this video. These were separate occasions, meaning Eugenia learned her mistake the first time and knew not to do it again, and yet years later still did.
Waldo asked me, can I be your best friend? And my answer is, of course.
She seemed to have a much healthier relationship with her fans back in these days. She seemed to just be kidding when talking about how close they could be with her, where nowadays lines seem to be crossed.
Who's your biggest inspiration? I'm going to say my mom, because she's really an amazing person and she's done so much for me and she's amazing. So I'm going to say her.
Interesting answer. And interesting how she says she's done so much for me and steps back to show herself off. That was a little odd, especially if you think about it in terms of foreshadowing. But it's very obvious she always had a close relationship with her mother.
What was the most embarrassing moment of your life? Well, I guess I could say I have a lot. I don't really have one particularly, but one thing I always think is really embarrassing is when you think somebody's giving you a compliment. So you're like, thank you. And then it turns out they're talking to somebody else, and then it's just really, really awkward.
Wonder what situation that would arise in. Seems unlikely to happen often, but it apparently happened to her at least once.
Who is your favorite YouNower? I can't answer this. There's way too many people I love on there and so many amazing broadcasters, so I really can't pick just one person.
These all seem like repeated questions of the first one, where she answered Damon Fizzy.
What is your favorite program on TV? The Vampire Diaries.
Who didn't see that coming? She seemed to be big on television back in the day.
Would you ever make out with another girl? I am gonna have to say no. You see, I'm straight, so I'm gonna have to say no. Sorry, girls.
Definitely not gonna pull a Katy Perry or Demi Lovato then. She sure made that clear.
Who told you about YouNow? One of my favorite YouTubers, Michael Buckley with the Buck, he used to do live shows on there a lot. So one day I saw on his Twitter he was doing a live show, and I clicked on the link, and then I found the website, and I thought it seemed really cool and a lot of fun, and I figured I'd give it a try. And I didn't really know if I would just get voted off right away or what would happen, but it ended up working out really well, and now I love that site. It's one of my favorite sites ever, so I'm so happy I started using it.
Brave mentality, to be honest. She gave something a try, even though she wasn't sure it would work out. It's really sad to see how different she's become.
Who's your favorite singer? Demi Lovato, and I love her new CD.
Ain't no way, she said that mere seconds after I cracked a Demi joke.
What's your favorite clothing store? My favorite clothing store is a store called Patricia Fields. It's an amazing store. They're located in New York City. So if you live there, you should go check it out. If not, on their website, they have pretty much everything they have at the store. So go check it out. It's a great store.
She must have really liked those clothes to give them free promo. People nowadays would pay her for that kind of promo.
Current/favorite perfume? Flower Bomb. Flower Bomb is a good perfume.
No idea what that is, but nice name. Anyone ever try it?
What is the most weird thing you have ever seen in public? Well, living near New York, I've kind of seen a lot of weird things, but one of them, I was at this concert once and there was this guy in a pink wig and he was on a bike and he had a sign that said, can't hear or talk or whatever, and he was like deaf and he couldn't talk, so it was, I don't know, but he said he was, I don't know if he really was. And then he asked me for money. Well, I think it said on the sign he wanted money, and I didn't have any, so I was like, oh, sorry, I don't have money. And he seemed like he understood what I was saying, so I don't know if he was really actually deaf and couldn't talk, or if he was just kind of faking it. I don't know. It was really weird, though. And then he kind of followed me around on his bike a little bit, and the whole thing was just really, really weird.
Definitely sounds weird. But I can imagine she's running into weirder things and people nowadays. Especially with the kind of audience she's pulling in. All I can think of is moving the makeup box over and over again. If you know, you know.
If we talked more, would you consider me one of your friends? Well, I already kind of consider all you guys my friends because you guys are all so nice to me all the time, so I consider all you guys my friends.
Same mentality she has nowadays with her enablers.
What's your favorite color? Pink and black. Like, I really like the color pink for like my clothing and stuff. I like black, and I just also like black as a color, even though it's technically a shade. But yeah, I'm gonna say pink and black.
She must have loved frenemies later on down the line.
Are you into relationships? It depends on with who, and you know, that all depends. I mean, it's not really a yes or a no straight up. It depends.
I don't think she's ever been in one publicly. But that makes sense considering what's going on. She's in a relationship with that. So there's not much room for anyone else in that sense.
Do you drive? If so, what? Well, I mean, I'm 18, so I know by now I probably should have my license, but I don't yet. But I mean, I guess I'll probably get it soon, maybe this summer, I don't know. And when I do get it, I don't really know what I'm gonna drive, but I guess I'll get it eventually.
Well, she did eventually get that license years down the line, but apparently never uses it. She doesn't drive herself around, and Jacqueline Glenn's boyfriend informed viewers that Eugenia actually had a driver hired by Eugenia's mother that chauffeured her around.
Mom, Eugenia is an adult. She's, I believe, 24, 25 years old. She's never allowed to go anywhere. It's all completely manipulated by the mother. There is a driver, Edgar. Every hangout with friends is an orchestrated pickup and drop-off by Edgar, who waits outside.
Would you ever consider the fact that unicorns could be real? Yeah, I already think they're real. I mean, robot unicorn attack, like, kind of proves they exist. So, you know, I already think they're real.
Again, her personality really shines through in this video. She's got a lot more to say than she normally does these days. She's not afraid to be goofy and seems to reference a lot of her interests.
What is your favorite movie and why? Definitely High School Musical, because it's just the best movie ever. It's just so amazing.
She seems to have a lot more interests back then than she does now. Now all we see and hear about are Jeffree Star palettes and Jack Skellington.
What are some of your favorite hobbies? I mean, I'm pretty boring. I like to listen to music and go to concerts and go shopping sometimes and watch YouTube videos and make them and go on YouNow and broadcast on there and watch people broadcast. And I don't know, I'm pretty boring.
Sounds like she was physically doing more back then, too. When's the last time she's gone to a concert?
Taylor Swift or Selena Gomez? I'm gonna say Taylor Swift. I like her music. I think her CD Red, when that came out, was really good. A lot of her music's really good and she seems really cool, so I'll go with her.
We're almost done with this video, and we've yet to hear any question about her personal life, really. She either cherry-picked the hell out of these questions, or people back then just didn't have as many concerns.
UK or US? Well, I've never been to the UK before, so I can't really 100% judge this, but I'm gonna go with the US because that's my home country, so I'm gonna go with it. But I haven't been to the UK, so I'm sure it's a cool place. I'd like to go though.
Yeah. Last question, and nothing of substance was really asked. The only real insight we got was that she regarded her mother highly, though she seemed way less attached at the hip to her.
I guess that's it. So thank you guys for watching, and thank you so much for sending in your questions, and hopefully I got to your questions.
She definitely cherry-picked them, right? There's no way that those are the only questions people had for her.
If you want to give this a like, that'd be super nice. I'm probably gonna make a lot more videos soon now that I have my new camera, so yay! And thank you guys for watching. All right, bye.
Less desperate for likes, and such back then. Overall, she was vastly different. Most of her content appeared to be actual content with themes and activities. It wasn't just her sitting in one place staring at the camera with nothing to say. She definitely filtered out those questions, though, and chose the PG versions. But insight is insight, and it was a small window into her mentality at the time. Nothing like she is now, but we'll see where this goes and how we got where we are now.